Rev up those engines, it's time for crime.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with Rev, a Tithe Extractor. This is from Foundation's Jumpstart and it is a crime commander. Kind of similar to Ragavan, whenever you deal combat damage with a creature, one or more creatures, you make a treasure and exile the top card of your opponent's deck. That card can then be cast at any time in the future, which means that even if Rev dies, you still get to keep that stolen card. But, kind of like Ragavan, you have to pay the mana of the card, including any colored mana costs. So that's what the treasures are for. This deck, you want to be playing evasive creatures. Creatures that don't want to be blocked, things that either have Death Touch or that you give Death Touch with Rev, and creatures that have First Strike, so you can trigger Rev multiple times in one turn. This deck has a bunch of ways to make things completely unblockable. Lots of other on-hit abilities like the Swarm Saboteur, and of course Nashi, Moonsage's Scion, and classic, Hypnotic Spectre. I'm also running some cards that have Menace, do things on Enter the Battlefield, and of course just good mono-black cards. Because there's not many ways to give Double Strike and not many creatures with First Strike, though we do have a few like the Draena Liberator of Malakir, and Gurmag's Swiftwing, I have Leyline Axe, because that's another way to both benefit the Death Touch creatures, because Rev can give an attacking creature Death Touch, and just all the other creatures in our deck to get 2 strikes in per combat. I also have Roaming Throne, which doubles Rev's ability, because I love nothing more than getting to do what my commander does twice. This deck is also playing some good black removal, but for the most part, this deck is very much creature-oriented. It's not running tons and tons of removal, board wipe, discard, or anything like that, because I'm too busy playing creatures onto the battlefield so I can use them to attack and steal my opponent's spells. So let's take Rev Tithe Extractor into the queue and start collecting some taxes. Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh. Very likely to be a crime deck, or just Grixis control. Nicol Bolas has a plus ability that steals the spell from your opponent, lets you cast it for free, a +1 that you should never use that attacks the hand, a -4 that can remove creatures, face, planeswalkers, whatever by dealing direct damage, and a -12 that also doesn't exist. It's not on the card, just ignore it. This is really rough for me, because I kept this hand kind of dependent on the Thieves' Tools. Oh, good! I get to keep the Thieves' Tools. The Thieves' Tools are the thing that let me play something next turn. I want to play Roaming Throne, which will surprise nobody, because people know what I like, and what I like is Roaming Throne. I'm going to name either Human or Rogue. They're both fine in this deck. There's a couple additional Rogue triggers abilities, and there's a couple additional Human triggered abilities. It is now nighttime! I don't want to trade with you. Gonti, who is a rogue. Remember how I was like, there's a bunch of rogue triggered abilities? Rogue. I mean, they'll never see it coming. Oh, I want all of these. This one's fun because it's like an on-hit ability, so it fits the theme. Yes. Okay, it's your turn. Elspeth's Nightmare, killing Gonti. Okay, this is definitely my deck because you can tell it's my deck when they're playing Elspeth's Nightmare. They hit Hired Poisoner. Aw, oh, dang it. And Signet. Unlike Rev's stolen spells, the Gonti stolen spells can be cast from mana of any color. Yep, it's a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. You can see it. Now you don't have Double Strike anymore, but if you tack in, you can play the Stolen Signet. Hi, I just want some extra mana. I wonder if they have the coin flippy counterspell. I wonder if they have a counterspell in hand. Let's find out. I'll start by playing Rev. Vroom vroom. Boot up the slasher. Or I guess give him some thieves' tools. Swinging, 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 swinging. I give it Death Touch. Twice. Also, Jixer! Thank you so much for the 3-month resub. Okay, they killed it, but it does come back. Scarab God is going to be able to exile creatures from the graveyard, like this, and make copies of them for 4 mana. Rev, go do some dirty business. I love she's giving herself Death Touch, even though she, like... she can't be blocked. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Well, hello! That's a Grenzo. I'll take it. It's a rogue! Oh my gosh! The rogue synergy. Those, by the way, Jasper Flint, also a rogue. Gonti 2, the sequel to Gonti. Okay, so I can cast one of these for free here. I think I hit Scarab God. Oh, wait. I can cast that on their turn. Okay, so I'm going to put an upkeep stop here. I will cast the Thief of Sanity for free. This does give them an opportunity to steal. And that opportunity, by the way, is... they can bring out the Loot Monger, but they'd have to discard the card in their hand. Okay, sweet. If they have a land here, they could use Nicol Bolas. Somebody earlier was saying that they really like Rev in a Laughing Jasper Flint deck as like part of just rogues. And I agree with that. I bet it's really fun in rogues. Hey, Laughing Jasper Flint. I can't wait to cast you for free. Also, GG. Bristly Bill Spine Sower. Bristly Bill actually just got a bunch of great new upgrades. I know this because I published an updated version of my Bristly Bill deck. Because Bristly Bill's great. Landfall is going to get them a +1/+1 counter onto a creature, and they can pay 5 mana to double the counters on all of their creatures. Just the +1/+1 counters, but that's all you need. Bristly Bill is great with other landfall cards, other +1/+1 counters cards, oftentimes called scales. Also just like a very aggressive commander, especially if you get like some turn 1, just early ramp out. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They got themselves an uncounterable elf. You know what, I have either unblockable or death touching. I'm gonna go for death touching. Yeah, this allows them to get down Bill this turn and start getting triggers. Since we have so many death touchers in our deck, until they start giving trample to things, we can do some 1-for-1 trades. Cool. I think I'm gonna go for Leyline Axe. I'm gonna let them turn around and hit me here. And I'm just gonna say, hi, I have Double Strike, Trample, Death Touch. And when I hit you, I make a bug in hand. Bug-a-bug? Bug-a-bug. I could also have left this back as a blocker, but I like to be aggressive. B-E, aggressive. Also, next turn, I can play Rev and do it again. I feel like if I left it back as a blocker, they'd be more likely to try and, like, remove the Leyline Axe. You've never played a single Bristly Bill game that didn't start exactly like this. The consistency of turn 1 ramp in green is huge. I know this because I build a lot of green decks. People who watch my Brawl decks will know, like, Amy, you have a problem. Yeah, and the problem is that I love good green stuff. Nice, 7 damage. I only hit them for 6. Bill may as well swing and cannot effectively block this. Death Touch, First Strike, Trample means damage is going through. Here's a Rev. Give yourself double Death Touch. Double Death Touch. Oh, I still block. This is too many beetles. Just saying nice. Thank you. Discard a card. Allosaurus Shepherd. Yeah, they don't really need to stop counter spells against mono black. Uruk's Uprising gives Bill Trample. So that was what I was a little worried about. It makes it much harder for me to do things, but I still have some ways to gain life, sustain, and I could start leaving this back as a blocker. Or, like, move the equipment onto another Death Toucher. I'm just very unlikely to, because I love to steal. What do you mean it's not going to be a POC game? It might be. Yeah, I'm just not gonna block. Also, now if I get rid of counters by, like, killing Bill, they go back here. Don't mind me. Just checking through things. Steal, get a treasure. Tribute to the World Tree. Steal, get a treasure. Prime time. Remember, they can double the counters on Bill here, so what I'm hoping to get is something more than that. I wonder if, you know, I should have played the Grim Hireling first. It would have gotten me way more treasures. Now, if I block with everything... Can Bill still kill? Because there's also additional counters being put on stuff. So, like, this wouldn't just put 7. It would currently put 8 counters. And I have 1, 2, 3, 10, a bunch. I have a bunch of blocking power. Hey, I think we're good. I'm alive! And you're dead, son. Remember, they can only prevent 1 damage because of the text on this, which means that my friend Grey Merchant of Asphodel is going to end the game. You can prevent 1 damage. And only 1 damage. GG, Bristly Bill, Spine Sower. Ulamog, the Defiler. They're going to be ramping up to get to 10 mana, probably playing a couple other good colorless spells in the meantime, and then using Ulamog as a turbo finisher. This may also be just generally an Eldrazi deck playing good colorless Eldrazi. When Ulamog is cast, you exile half your opponent's library, and then when it enters with +1/+1 counters based on the largest mana value card in exile for either player. It's just whatever's biggest, that's what gets hit. I kind of like leading with Horde Robber, since it gets me the treasure next turn. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, if they don't have a blocker. There's very few things that I think would be blocking it this next turn. Oh, look, Ornithopter. That can block it. Shows what I knows. I could go Jet Medallion, Baleful Mastery on this. That would still get me a treasure. So then I could use for Bitter Blossom. Yeah, let's do that. Let you draw a card. Yeah, they're gonna be ramping, but so am I. And also playing little tiny evasive creatures. Anything to try to get hits in so I can, I guess, steal their big colorless stuff. I can sacrifice the heart. Give this Death Touch, so they are unlikely to block it. Because they want to sacrifice, and it costs 3 mana. They can't do it right away. And I stole land, so I can't use it. I actually feel like... I kind of feel like you should be allowed to use land off of Rev's ability. But maybe I'm just so crime-brained that I'm like, yeah, let me steal all their cards. It would make it easier to cast the stolen spells since you have to cast them for their mana, which, not an issue against a colorless deck. Still there, though. Land. Swinging with everything. I have a feeling they're going to block maybe Rev, maybe Horde Robber, I'm not sure which. And sacrifice to ramp. Yes, the card most similar to Red is Ragavan. She's like 4 Ragavans stapled together, but they still only trigger once. But the cards go to exile forever, so at least you can use them later. Kozilek's Command. I guess I can make some colorless mana. I'll bring out these 2 mana rocks. And now I can use this. I could use this to make a couple Scions and scry and draw. I could exile a creature. Oh, that's actually very scary. Scry and draw is cool. I'm not going to use this yet. Forsaken Monument pretty much means Ulamog's coming out next turn. They're also gaining a bunch of life. Yeah, it can only hit creatures. Mana value X or less, so I'd have to animate that. Hey, Edict. Edict will help me hit Ulamog once it's in play. This could even hit it. Sure, Horde Robber gets Death Touch. It doesn't matter, there's no blockers. Take them down to 13. I just heard my cat go scrambling. Get myself some ramp. Yeah, they have 7, 8 things here that tap for colorless, which means they have at least 16 mana. Hi, Ugin. That's going to further discount any colorless cards. It's Eugene. It's Eugene. So there goes the top half of my library. The highest thing in exile is 5 mana. I wonder if it's... Okay, it's Acklezotz. I was going to say Shuldred? Acklezotz? One of those. In general, this deck's mana values are pretty low. Guess I could hit the Stonecoil Serpent with this. Since I won't have enough mana to hit Ulamog, because it's based on mana value. Just do 2 using up 1 treasure and hitting the Stonecoil. Dark Ritual and Thought Distortion. It's hard because it's like, I don't think I need the mana, and I don't think hitting their hand's gonna quite do it. Okay, now Leyline Axe I like. That gets me 2 Rev triggers in a turn. Also, there's something about, you know, Death Touch, Trample, First Strike, Second Strike. Annihilator 5. I can survive Annihilator 5. Alright, so no Elemental Blast. I'm a monocolored deck. Breaker of Creation. I guess I'll exile that. Double Strike. Should I give it to Rev? Let's give it to Rev. I'm gonna throw all y'all at Ugin, and you at face. Give yourself Death Touch. Is Scraps a little guy? This is yet to be confirmed by any sources. We hit once, we get a treasure, we exile off the top, and the card we exile is... Emrakul. Cool. You don't have Trample, right? No, you don't. If I had to drop 5 permanents here, would I rather turn these into ramp or use these as fodder? I would rather use them as fodder. They don't know what I've stolen, by the way. They don't know I have Emrakul. I got a big old tentacle monster. They are still gaining life off that monument. Shambling suit. Not going to be too big. I have to sacrifice 5 permanents. I'm going to choose fairy, land, or treasure. And I will chump block with one of the fairies. And that seems like it's going to be GG. Sauron, the Dark Lord. Sauron is going to be making an amass token, this orc army, and it's going to grow and grow and grow the more spells I cast. So I guess I'll cast things early so they don't end up feeding Sauron. Sauron's also, like, very hard to get rid of. Usually this deck is a Grixis control deck. Occasionally it will be an amass deck. That's like the jank fun version of Sauron. What color do you want? Just a guess? Black, because you have red and blue out. Oh, no, more red mana. Okay. I'll swing in with Tiny Bones. There's nothing in their graveyard for me to steal, and play Vampire of the Dire Moon. So they have red, black, blue. Maybe it's a Spiteful Banditry or something that they needed double red for. Widespread Brutality, which does in fact kill this. See, maybe this is the rare amass deck. That would be kind of cool. I meant it when I say you don't see them that often, but they're neat when you do see them. Here's Gix. Gix, kind of like Rev, has an on-hit ability, but this on-hit ability lets me pay 1 life and draw a card. And it's also per hit. I really wish Rev were per hit. Rev, how come you're not as cool as Gix? Let me steal their entire deck. Black Market Connections. This lets them make a creature with all types, get some card draw, and get some mana. Still with 2 mana up, a red and a blue. Makes me feel like could be something countery or bouncy or rampy. Oh, or burning. Oh, it was a Cyclonic Rift. I guess I'll just play Rev. Gix plus Boots would also be cool. Either way, they're going to probably make the 3/2. And unless I get a way to make it unblockable, that makes me not want to attack in, unless I'm using Hive of the Eye Tyrant to do it. I think I'll probably just be playing Acklezotz next turn if I'm able to. Only played the 3. Didn't pay the 6. Didn't pay the nothing. By the way, they can amass onto shapeshifters. They are technically armies. Like that. Thank you, Steezes. Showing what I'm talking about. I don't even know what you do. Are you stealing my creature? No, artifacts. Tap and stun. Oh, man. Tap and stun is rough. Yeah, I'll go for this, Rev trigger here. card draw. So Gurmag Swiftwing is in the deck because it has First Strike, which means I can get up to 2 triggers from Rev. Yes, please. I hit a land. It's Command Tower. I will play the boots. It's Deadamas. It is Deadamas. Yeah, there's not many ways to get Rev to trigger multiple times in a turn. You can double her ability with something like Roaming Throne. You can play things with First Strike, Double Strike, anything that lets you hit in both phases of combat. And here comes Sauron the Dark Lord. Any spells I cast past this point are going to let them amass, and because they hit me with an army, the ring is tempting them. And whenever they're tempted by the ring, they can discard their hand and draw 4 more cards. So they dropped their hand. They found 4 more. Are they going to do it again? Getting another combat isn't possible in mono black. Not easily, at least. There might be something that can do it, just not in arena. Yeah, it's the same trouble that Sultai Gonti has. It's just real hard to get those triggers going. And since you don't have multiple opponents, because she's very much, I feel, designed around multiple opponents, she's just harder to get rolling. I am going to pop down this Aclazotz. They will amass. They can put a counter onto one of these. And I'll let you draw some cards. I just need to do crime. Make you discard and make you draw. So this gives me regular and first striking damage. Changelings are armies. They sure are. They're everythings. Discarded a Chromatic Lantern. Oh, I have that in this deck, so I can steal better. Yes, please. Wait, am I dead if I don't play a creature here? A removal or something. That'll work. Alright, I have to use Breaking of the Fellowship. My lifelinker on... Oh, wait, they hit each other. Alright, you hit you. And I get tempted by the ring. Gurmag Swiftwing, you're legendary now. Look, now all of my creatures are legendary. That means I could maybe get through the Sauron's ward cost. So right now there is 13 damage. I was very lucky getting that bit of removal there. I have a bunch of direct damage right here. I like seeing somebody get their Lord of the Rings on, though, and not just build Sauron as, like, the best Grixis removal spells. My legions are legend. Wait for it. Dairy. My legion is a bat. It's a good bat, though. Look, it's eating a snake. Love a Gary win. I don't mind a Grey Merchant win. I've been on some commander shows where they're like, don't kill the table with Gary. And I'm just out here like, but I have so much Black Devotion. Ooh, Witch King of Angmar! Ooh, okay. That actually makes my first striker worse here. Because it gives me 2 phases of having to sacrifice things. But it's fine. I'm not dead. I can kill them. Wow, they are so tempted by that ring. Are changelings every type? They're only types that currently exist. Are you asking if they're Uncle Istvans? No, because Uncle Istvan has been removed as a creature type. Oh, I think they're like, yeah, you have lethal anyway. Here, have a Gary. It deals the damage. It will hit them for 8. Finish them off. GG. 6. 6 attacks in, gets lands, and then can use those lands to bring things back from the graveyard. I've got a little single target removal. I've got something with flying, first strike, and haste. Something with an on-hit ability. Doesn't seem like a crazy hand, but seems good enough to me. Hi, 6. 6 also has reach, so, like, this not gonna do as much as I'd like. I think I'll still start with Horde Robber. They played turn 1 ramp, so if they play turn 2 6, I'm ready to kill it. Yeah, I drew even more single target removal. All of which costs blood. That's fine with me. Hit the 6. And swing in with the Horde Robber. I could use the treasure this turn to play the Swiftwing, but I'd rather save it in case I don't draw a land. Oh, Fanatic Aronis. That's a great one. And an Allosaurus Shepherd. That'll stop me from countering things. It'll also probably be used as a chump blocker. I feel like they might just triple block this, since none of those individually are that good. It's Rev! Horde Robber, go! Oh, baby! It's a triple. I will hit the Fanatic of Ronus. And they have enough mana to replay 6 here. Oh, going for Ranger class instead. This makes a wolf. And if they level it up, it will make attacking creatures get a +1/+1 counter. And then eventually they can cast critters off the top of their deck. I think this is just like a good card. Oh, Gaia's Cradle. Nice. Okay, it's like legally distinct to Gaia's Cradle, but it is going to flip this turn. That's so much mana. Good for them. I'm going to play the Gurmag Swiftwing. They could sacrifice a land to Elvish Reclaimer. I'm going to attack it with both. Trying to get double triggers from Rev. Giving Rev Death Touch. Something notable is that I should, if everything goes according to plan, get the first strike, get a treasure, and then be able to cast Bitter Triumph if they want to block with multiple things. Okay, got a treasure and hit a land. Werewolf Pack Leader. It's not bad, but I'm going to go for Drana instead. Drana lets me buff up my attacking critters. I know, I got a double hit. I got to trigger Rev twice in one turn. Also help, I don't have another land. They have 6 lands. And 10 mana. Actually, 11. Llanowar Elves. Fanatic of Ronus is being recast from the graveyard, not escaped? Huh. Okay, you want to level up your Ranger class? They have 1 card with reach. I could give Death Touch to one of these, probably to the Swiftwing, to discourage blocking and make sure that one of them gets through. I could also just, like, Bitter Triumph this. I kind of want more treasures and also more on-hit abilities. Boop. Giving Death Touch to the Swiftwing. Make it a trade. Stuff happens. I wish you could steal lands. Endurance, huh? I guess I could get the land out of their graveyard. It's not that interesting. I will play Hired Poisoner and hold my Bitter Triumph. Can I, like, I don't know, steal better stuff from my opponent? That'd be really cool. If I kill 6, they just replay 6. Level 3. They can now play creatures off the top of their deck. Like that one! Oh, sure. Before they declare attackers, I'm gonna bop 6. Bop. Yeah, come at me, bros. Hitting me with that keen-eyed curator? Alright. I'll block the Allosaurus Shepherd, and that takes 14. I have the reanimation off Priest of Arc Priest of Shadows next turn. Oh my gosh, they got a land. They could replay 6, I think. Oh wait, no, never mind. They're exiling... What? It's actually kind of weird to me that they're exiling my graveyard, because there's nothing on my board that has to do with graveyard stuff. There's Endurance, but they don't know I have this. This is face down. That was very sus. Weird. It gets bigger? Yeah, eventually, but they had enough mana to replay their creature, and the things in my graveyard weren't that interesting. Let's see. Sure. Well, it won't get bigger if it dies first. Okay, we got lots of critters here. I think I will start with the Nykthos. Use that to make a bunch of mana. Use the bunch of mana to... I'm tempted to just, like, pop down this Endurance, too. Since taking cards out of their graveyard does reward me. An Arc Priest of Shadows. And I'll just put a counter onto... maybe the Endurance for a double block between those two. Yeah, but like these were the creatures in my graveyard. Hired Poisoner and Horde Robber. Wait, were they one short of mana to replace 6? That could have been it. I could have miscounted how much mana they had. Because it costs 7. They had 6. Oh, okay. So they were just trying to use up their mana, and they didn't want to hit their own graveyard, even though it would have given them more types. Because they're a 6 deck. Speaking of 6, this is making 6 mana. Make it 7, if they crew. Oh my god, you're right. It's now letting me use that for mana. I found a 4th land! Oh my gosh, I found a 4th land. Everybody should be really proud of me. That's their free block. Until it isn't, because I can sacrifice a treasure to give it -1/-1. Let the rest of the damage go through. Things are happening. Come on, let me steal. Ah, I hit lands. Okay, whatever. 1. Sure, I will use Nykthos for that. Okie dokie. This can't block, so it's like a very whatever. Ooh, but the slasher can. Cool. I have blockers. I have flyers. I got damage. Hi, Trailblazer. This will get them a mana, and then when a big boy enters the battlefield, they'll draw a card. No big boys I can see here, but they could play one off the top. I love how they just spent 1 mana to get a mana. All these sad, sad lands in exile. Rev, I'm sorry, but apparently just collecting the deeds of properties, not very worthwhile as a Tithe Extractor. Intrepid Paleontologist. They just need 6 as a reach blocker. I have 2 flying attackers, though. I don't think that they've got... I don't think they've got quite enough. Because the Swiftwing and Drana are just huge now. Thank you, Drana. Usually I don't get much value out of her in a deck, but the first strike getting me additional triggers for Grim Hireling and Rev has been great. Oh no, my Nykthos! My beautiful card. That's so sad. I'll make some trades swinging for lethal. GG. Ygra, Eater of All. Going to be turning all the creatures into food. And then oftentimes playing things that destroy all artifacts because all of your food are artifacts. That's going to be a little tough because right now I have a lot of artifact-based ramp and hamp. I've got these Thieves' Tools, I've got Solar Transformer, Jet Medallion, and I also have a little bit of removal and Infernal Grasp. There's also an infinite combo you can do with Ygra. If you are sacrificing food to make creatures, which are also food, which are also creatures, which are also food. It's like the something confectioner. You think this is the Thanksgiving commander? For reference, I'm playing the day before Thanksgiving. Ooh. I think I'm gonna lead with the Swarm Saboteur. I want to play it this turn so I can attack with it next turn. Start spitting out little critters. The Virus Beetles. I tried to throw in a bunch of on-hit abilities in this deck. like Gix, Swarm Saboteur, Nashi. Those are a lot of very fun ones. Oh, and it's dead! It's also getting them some mana. A Tarky Commander. I want to have a creature that I can attack with. I want to get Rev to trigger. She's just like, oh, I'm so bored of you trying to get me to make treasures. Just need you to collect some taxes. Hi, Ygra. You're a food. I'm a food. A lot of food here. I don't think they'll block. Here, have some Death Touch. It already has Death Touch. Have some Death Touch anyway. Don't mind me just chilling on my Infernal Grasp. Manglehorn. Before that resolves, I am going to hit the Ygra here. Ygra gets bigger, but then dies, and Manglehorn can destroy my Jet Medallion. Actually, I wonder if I had waited until they targeted the creature and then done it, if it would have fizzled, because it would no longer be a valid target. It wouldn't have been an artifact. It's very rude of you, though, making my artifacts enter tapped. Oh, Ygra's back! Eek! Hi. You want to attack? There's a bunch of Goose commanders. Yeah, there's Alburex and Goose Mother. Making tapped treasures. Yeah, I'll take it. Too bad these treasures are tapped. Or I could use them to destroy you. I'll probably use the Liberator to destroy Manglehorn next turn, even though it will make Ygra bigger. Oh no! Rev! Ygra will grow because the food was destroyed. Down to 12. Might have to, like, block and sacrifice. I'd love to get to attack in here. I don't think it's the right move, especially with the treasures coming in tapped. They're binding. And that means that this right here is going to give them even more damage. I'll hit them with a good game. They feast. They feast. We die. GG, Ygra, eater of all. Shroofus Sproutsire. Honestly, a favorite commander for people in my chat. People keep asking me, Amy, when are you going to build Shroofus? And the answer is, I don't know why you keep trying to get me to build Shroofus. When Shroofus hits, you make saprolings. So, you gotta make Shroofus extra chunky in order to get some damage in. I'm gonna start with Tiny Bones. I feel like a Death Toucher is good. Also, the best Shroofus deck I've played against was somebody whose name in-game was PootieTang6969. So if that's you, just like random person, I want you to know I liked what you were up to. It was a good game. It happened off stream because I do play Magic off stream. I love playing Magic. Magic is so fun. I can play Magic for like 50 hours in a week for work and then be like, you know what I want to do? Play some Magic as a hobby with my friends and then play some Magic online to help relax. Because I really like playing Magic. Everybody likes playing Magic. Oh. They traded Shroofus with Tiny Bones because of the Death Touch. You could have just attacked in. I would have traded anyway. Alright. Bye-bye, Shroofus. Geralf Visionary Stitcher lets you sacrifice creatures to turn them into zombies, and then you can use those zombies to, swinging in the air because they get flying. This Geralf is oftentimes played with high booty critters, things like walls and other things that get sacrificed and turned into zombies. I could go for unblockable, or I could go for Tony Bones here. I'm gonna go for Tony Bones. Yeah, flying zombies are kind of cool. I like mono blue high toughness too. They get a way to activate Geralf. That Aegis Turtle, so that's gonna become a 5/5 flying zombie. That's pretty scary. I don't know. Yeah, I want to just trade anywhere I can. I'm scared. Tiny Bones, Tiny Crimes. They could steal from me. They could also just counter things because they're a mono blue deck. Changeling Outcast, something that's impossible to block. And then Solar Transformer to ramp to try to get it so I can cast Rev next turn. Though I'm kind of getting a vibe, because they didn't play Geralf, that they're either waiting until they have a haste enabler or holding up like a counterspell type thing. Oh, look! They can stop it by attacking. By hitting it with a Dragon Turtle. Another good high toughness creature with an enter the battlefield ability on top of that. This person should check out Plagan. They'd probably like Plagan. Tithe Extractor. Countered. Because I don't think I'm going to be getting any damage through on the ground, I'm actually going to sacrifice this Horde Robber, turn into a Bitter Blossom. Burns TTV, thank you for the sub. How's Rev feeling as a commander? She's fine. She wishes she were Ragavan. I wish she cost 3 mana, or I wish she triggered for each attacker, or each combat damage dealt. She's definitely designed for 4-player commander, which there's nothing wrong with being designed for 4-player commander. Gonna play Rev and try to steal. And I'm choosing to do this over just killing their commander because I'd rather them get to play the game. It's like if I just kill people's commanders, sometimes we don't get to play at all. But look, they could attack in with the Dragon Turtle and then upcycle it into a 5/5 zombie. You think playing the game's overrated? How about stealing from your opponent? Is that overrated? They are plotting the Lockpicker. Getting ready to use it in the future. Get myself a fairy. I'm going to use 3 mana to give Rev double strike. Also trample. Also +1/+1. Swinging in with both of these. Giving herself the death touch. To make blocking a non-issue. We deal damage, we steal. I got Wall of Runes. I also got a land. Sure, I'll cast Wall of Runes. Why not? Grim Hireling's great. Gets me treasures on hit. I'm waiting for them to use Geralf, sacrificing one of these turtles. Tapping out. And look, I let you do the thing. You have a zombie. It's not flying until you replay your commander. Bam! Big zombie token. Bigger Rev. She's not actually bigger. She just gets double strike, trample, and that goes real good with that death touch. There's, by the way, very, very few ways to give double strike in colorless or black. I'm not running all of them, because some of them are really just not worth it. But I think Leyline Axe, especially because you get it for free occasionally, like we did in this game, is kind of cool. I usually don't even think I'd cast it unless I get it for free. That's okay, I don't need to use all the cards in my hand. They're playing Geralf. I'll block with one of these fairy rogues. And now, if they would like to, they could steal the card that they know I scried on top of my deck. You don't have flash, right? No, you don't. Okay. I will try to play the Grim Hireling. I want this out before I go into combat. And I might use these treasures to kill Agent of Rafine. Because she's a problem. Death touch. Four damage. That's going to get me 3 treasures and a stolen card. Oh, Enduring Curiosity! Wait, I should play that before the rest of damage goes out. Yes. Yes. I want to draw cards. Also, look at how cute it is. It's so cute. They go to 5. Oh, look at all that draw. I have 6. 2 on you. Boop, boop. You ain't turning anything else into zombies. Thank you, Mr. Meow Meow. Thank you for drawing those lands so I don't have to draw them, like, for my draw per turn. It was really considerate of you. I let them use their commander once. They countered my commander. They made an enemy for life, by which I mean the next, like, 5 minutes. And now I want to destroy them. I am the wall deck now. Let's see. If they block with the Kyrie on the first strike, some damage goes through. And then they can bounce the tokens. But some damage still goes through there. That's only if I give you Death Touch. Okay, so I don't give you Death Touch. Easy solution. You get Death Touch. Should still be lethal damage going in. But this way, like, the stuff doesn't all get just bounced immediately. Math is happening. Calculating. Assign some damage. The rest goes through. And it is lethal. GG, Drolf. The Gitrog Ravenous Ride. The Gitrog monster is going to be saddled up, sacrificing creatures, and swinging at my face. I guess I've got something that can slow down their opening hand, some fairies, an unblockable / mostly unblockable creature, and a kill spell. This all seems pretty good. Hopefully I get another land for Rev, or like a Man of Rock or something. The original Gitrog monster is one of my first commanders. But the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. Now this is just fun. Oftentimes when I'm just playing Arena for myself, I'm playing the Gitrog Ravenous Ride. Turn 1 ramp! I couldn't stop it. Green has such consistent turn 1 ramp. So unfortunately the Meat Hook Massacre is very good against me because I have so many 1 toughness creatures. Do I have a favorite Jumpstart commander yet? I don't know. I had a lot of fun with Thurid and Plagan, the horse and the starfish, respectively. PogChamp. Hi. It's your go. Thank you. Bitter Blossom. Gonna make some itty bitty bits. Little fairies. Hawk in play, but they don't have a land to follow up. And I am not waiting, not hesitating. Get rid of that. I don't want Pawk. I'm scared of Pawk. I'm also scared of Tireless Provisioner and Landfall. Perhaps I'm just full of fear. I'll just grab the Surveil land here. Yep. The good news is I'll get to steal. The bad news is Gitrog happens next turn. See if they keep it on top or throw it in the trash. Aw, they threw it in the trash. Oh, because they were 1 mana short of being able to play the 5/5 and eat it. Stop whinnying, horse. I was talking on stream about how one of the main reasons I use this rock as a default pet is because it does not make the same obnoxious sound over and over and over. Oh my god, I stole their Shouldred! It just sits there and is a rock. Oh, you have a question. Is there a ranked mode for this? There is not a ranked mode for this. How do you play it in Arena? It's called Brawl. And there's also a different version called Standard Brawl, which only uses standard legal cards. But, like, this is a Jumpstart card. It's not legal in Standard. Hello, Kami of Bamboo Groves. I will block to make my Shouldreds more impactful. I'm gonna play the stolen one first. Because I'm nowhere near flipping this. I mean, I'm not that far off from flipping. The koi fish is also good. But, like, this horse has 1 whinny sound effect, and it just keeps going. I think playing Rev here very much invites the Meat Hook Massacre. Please double block. Please double block. Let's see what I steal. Black market connections. I'm not gonna play the Nizumi Cutthroat because they're gonna Meat Hook Massacre. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe they're very much into eating their critters. The goblin that throws the explosives, the squee. I don't like that one. And Tiny Bones, who's always flipping the coin, like, bro, stop. Yeah, I don't need Rev for the Gary here. And this makes the Meat Hook Massacre much worse. Okay, cool. I could hit their hand with the Mind Liquor. But I'm just seeing if I can kill them here. So I'm playing this first because it increases my devotion. Then I'm playing this because it increases my devotion. Sacrificing those 2 treasures. Playing the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. They lose 8. I swing in. It's lethal. Nice. The Stolen Sheoldred did the job. Ignore that I could have just played my Sheoldred and it would have been very simple. The stolen one's better because it wasn't mine. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. I'm glad that people let me keep Rev alive long enough that I got to do some crime. I also think that the combination of various haste givers and evasive cards in this deck make Rev doable. Rev's definitely not going to be as strong as cards like Gix, Yawgmoth, Praetor. It's a little bit harder to build around, but you can still absolutely do the thing with Rev. You can steal your opponent's spells and cast them too. I think in general, I would prefer Rev to be in the 99 of a deck that cares about dealing combat damage. I feel like it would be good in a Gix deck. I think it would be fun in a Rankle deck. It's fun in a lot of different decks because it's getting you an additional reward for doing what you're already doing, which is hitting your opponent's face. Rev also getting you treasures is a nice way to get some additional mana in black because there's not that much ramp in mono black. I'm not talking about your dark rituals. It's mostly going to be mana rocks like the ones we have in the 2-drop slot in this deck. If you're looking to play this deck, the deck list is in the description. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, just as this was a suggested commander, please let me know in the comments. There were a lot of commanders added in Jumpstart Foundations and in Foundations. And in like a week and a half, I think, we're getting Pioneer Masters, which I totally forgot that there's cards like the Origin Flipwalkers are coming to Arena. There's a bunch of other legendaries, Tarkir Dragons. There's a lot of cards that are coming to Arena that we're going to get to build as commander. So if you have any advanced requests, if you're like, hey, Amy, Dramoka, I'll be like, hey, yeah, I like Selesnya too. And I'll keep it in mind. I have a huge list of commanders that people would like me to play, and I try to get to as many of them as I can. But I mean, even if I spend all day brewing, there's so many legendary cards that come out these days. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.